From the softball field on the old campus of Navarro High School, this is Navarro Panther softball being brought to you all along the Navarro Panther Network. Hello, everyone. I'm Clay Scarborough along with Hank Dietert, and we bring you tonight Navarro Panther softball as they take on the Llano Lady Yellow Jackets. Navarro enters tonight's game with an 8-9 overall record and a 5-4 home record. Navarro last played on Tuesday night and lost to Alamo Heights 15-0 and are 3-2 in their last 5 games. Llano enters tonight's game with an 8-6 overall record and a 1-2 road record. The Yellow Jackets last played on Tuesday night and lost 21-3 to Brownwood and are on a 2-game losing streak, having lost the last 2 games by a combined 36-3 score. On the mound tonight for the Lady Panthers is Michaela Isaac with a 3-3 overall record and a 14 ERA. She has pitched 13 innings this year for the Lady Panthers. On the mound tonight are the Lady Yellow Jackets. And Lauren Grego is on the mound with a 4-2 record, a 9.52 ERA. She has thrown 25 innings this year. At 6:30, it was 82 degrees. It's probably dropped just a little bit with that as the sun has gone down. As we have our western view from our broadcast location here at the softball fields, we have a strong south wind, about 18 miles per hour. It is blowing pretty much in from left center field to the right field foul pole. If you hit one down into the right field corner up in the air, it is likely to travel out of the ballpark, and we will talk more about that. Shelby Stevens is on a tear with home runs. She has 14 this year, and she has the ability to go to the opposite field quite a few times. It is 55% humidity. The rain appears to be staying away this evening, and the better chance appears to be tomorrow. We'll be right back with lineups and the call of game number 18 right after this on the Navarro Panther Network. Welcome back to we'll call it the old softball fields, except they're currently in use here at Navarro High School. This is the site of the high school that has moved just down the road by about half a mile. We will be taking over our newly built athletic fields sometime in September, and maybe we'll have a softball game or two at the new place. We're going to turn it over to Mr. Cisneros. He is our public address announcer tonight, and he has the lineups for both teams.
Ooh, that wind.
Well, y'all can tell. We mentioned it's a windy night. We may keep it here right now. So we have a camera up on the backstop that's behind home plate, and that is, it's not the camera moving, it is the wind. We told you there's an 18-mile-an-hour wind tonight. So while they do that, let's go use starting lineups, and we'll start with the visiting Llano Lady Jackets. M. Robertson will lead off, number 16. She will play center field. Emily Clapton will bat second. She will do the catching duties for the Lady Yellow Jackets. Mally Wittenberg bats third. She is the first baseman. Lambry Hoyt bats fourth. She is the right fielder. Graceland Sanchez bats fifth. She will be at second base. J.C. Smith will bat sixth. She will be at third. Mikulinka Reagan is the left fielder. She will bat seventh. Lauren Grego is pitching. She bats eighth. And Kaylin Casper, the shortstop, bats ninth for the Lady Jackets. So left center to right for the Lady Jackets, it's Mikulvina, Robertson, and Hoyt. Smith, Casper, Sanchez, Wattenberg, third, short, second, and first. Greco, and then Clapton behind the plate. For your home Lady Panthers, Katie Zimmer will lead off. She will play center field for the Lady Panthers tonight. Jillian Baker will bat second and will play shortstop. Kennedy Seek, the senior, is in left field tonight and bats third. Shelby Stevens, the catcher, will bat fourth. Kaylee Schrock will bat fifth. She'll be playing right field. Natalie Giles will be playing third base and batting sixth. Izzy Hartman is the second baseman. She will bat seventh. Mallory Velasquez will play first base. She will bat eighth. And in the designated player position, Allie Rochenberg, she will bat ninth. And she acts as the designated hitter basically tonight because McKayan Isaac will be the pitcher tonight for the Lady Panthers. She is on the lineup as the 10th player because Rauschenberg will be handling the hitting duties in the 9th spot. So Seek, Zimmer, and Schronk, left, center, to right for the Lady Panthers. Giles, Barker, Hartman, and Velasquez, third, short, second, and first. Stevens behind the plate, and Isaac on the mound. Now, we will let our microphones pick this one up. We are about set for our national anthem. Now, you hear Hank Deere. You hear Hank Deere there? Our technician, our engineer, somewhat producer. He is playing with the PTZ camera that is behind the plate, and you can just see the wind really moving that thing around.
Yeah, we were going to try to get it up there high, and we couldn't get it affixed to anything permanent, so this is what we're going to have to deal with. But we do have another camera.
We also have the picture cam, if you will. But we're going to step aside now for the national anthem. That is Mr. Cisneros. You hear him as the voice right now of the Lady Panthers on the PA system, and we are set to get underway here from Navarro. Want to update you all in Navarro land on some exciting events that happened earlier today. UIL 1ACT competed at district and have advanced to the by-district rounds. The first time in 4 years 1ACT was able to do that. They performed Theopolis North today and have moved on to the second round.
Well, that's awesome because that's where all our camera operators
started. Jordan and a couple others. We actually have one up in the booth tonight doing the music. Aiden Lugo, who's a normal broadcaster with us, is up there. Of course, Joseph Picarazzi, who is our sponsor for the club, he is away with tennis this evening. So Mr. Dietert has graciously basically volunteered to be the producer, director, technician, engineer, and has told me to be the voice of the Panthers this evening.
Yeah. Well, I'm just here along for the ride. So we'll try to get. I know that once I go back to this other camera, you're going to go like, what are they doing? So, it's like, well, best we can do under the circumstances. And maybe the wind will slow down for us.
It's going to be an interesting transition when we get to do this at the new place here. There's a good possibility really soon there'll be baseball and softball at the new place. It's a net back there, Hank. We'll have to figure out really how we're going to set up everything.
And usually as long as we have platforms that we can come on the side, because once we have the students, we can have a third base side, a first base side. Tonight we'll just have a pitcher's cam, and you'll have the our little broadcast QR code for the broadcast club. So that's always interesting. So, and that's our pitch cam right there. So, go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're set to roll. Isaac on the mound for the Panthers.
All right,
and in the box is M. Robertson with a .242 batting average on the season, a .457 on-base percentage. Panthers with 2 freshmen who have primarily pitched this year, and ball 1 to Robertson. Again for the Panthers, it's Seek, Zimmer, and Schronk left, center, to right. Third to first goes Giles, Baker, Hartman, and Velasquez. Stevens is behind the plate. And they hit her. So on base is Robertson. That will bring up Emily Clapton. .543 batting average as this game begins with a .636 on base percentage. Good for easily almost a 1,200 OPS. First pitch is a strike. Isaac gets ahead. Staying at first is Robertson. Of course, Shelby Stevens behind the plate. She's going to Kansas next year as a D1 softball player. And if you get to see the arm here, you will understand why. Here's the pitch. Foul ball. Could not hold back. Count goes 0-2. Robertson showing some respect for the Stevens arm. Isaac stands at the back of the circle. Toes the rubber. Kicks and comes home. That ball is hit foul down to the batting cages.
Don't hit me. I didn't see where it went. That's all I was saying. It was like, oh, my goodness.
Not quite at us, Hank.
Yeah.
A little early on the swing was Clapton. As far as we know, Emily is not related to Eric. Here's the pitch. Ground ball. This goes foul toward the Panthers dugout.
And you don't want to put anything down the middle of the plate here. I mean, from what I can see, she's going to be swinging, and so just don't give her anything easy.
Can I stay off the plate here for a second if you can? Way ahead.
Yeah.
0-2.
I mean, she's swinging, though.
And in the dirt, back to the wall.
Not that far off the plate.
Yeah, that was a little far. Into the dirt. Robertson will go down to second. And just the first ball of the at-bat to Clapton. Mally Whitenberg waits on deck. You can see in the pitcher's cam, JV tournament going on behind us. Ground ball, this is the short. Deep short, Baker has it. The arm to first is wide, hits the dugout. So Robertson will score. The throw to the plate is actually more in time than I thought it was going to be. She did not slide, but Robertson makes it in, and it is 1-0. Clapton goes to second. She'll go to second on the error. The errant throw. Here's Mally Whitenberg, 400 batting average, 581 on base percentage. That ball is up and in to Whitenberg. Here's the pitch. Pop, this could be caught. Velasquez chasing it, but just a little deeper back toward the cut of the grass. Count goes 1-1. Six strikes so far for Isaac. 1-1 count. Panthers already trail 1-0. Here's the pitch. Just a little low on that. Count goes 2-1. Lamby Hoyt on deck. Isaac kicks and delivers. Hit well to left field. That's over the head of Zimmer. plays a very good center field. Into score is Clapton. Into second is Whitenberg, and it is 2-0 for the Lady Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, you're going to have to fire me before we get started here because I'm a little slow on the trigger, so I apologize to the folks out there. I didn't get it to the outfield quick enough. So
here's Lambry Hoyt, 368 batting average. His ground ball to second. Bobbled, throw to first, in time. That is the first out of the inning. Hoyt's out 4-3, advances the runner to third in Whitenberg. And there's one away.
Yeah, we needed that out.
Get that first out of the inning. It sure just changed the entire complexion. Here's Grayson Sanchez, 250 batting average, the left-hander, with a 308 on base percentage. That ball is outside for ball one. Isaac goes to the back of the circle each time, delivers home now. Ground ball right back to the pitcher. She'll go to first for the out. And Hank, I know she probably had to play at home, but you're never really wrong when you get an out.
That's correct. I'm there with you. Yeah, because if you miss it at home plate, then they're advancing into scoring position rather easily. So I agree with that one.
J.C. Smith steps in. 167 batting average and a 355 on base. Pops the first pitch foul out of play. Nobody on base now. Isaac off the rubber. Here's the pitch. Just a little outside. Count goes 1-1.
Yeah, give everybody motion sickness out there.
If you got the Dramamine at home, pull it out. Ground ball back to the pitcher. Bobbles the ball. The runner's going to be safe. Isaac just couldn't stay down just long enough. She's trying to grab the ball and throw it to first a little quick. So reaching on the error is J.C. Smith.
Oh, that's a tough one. That is tough.
Reagan Mikulina, the left fielder, steps in. She has not recorded a hit yet this season, has a 200 on-base percentage. Stevens with a nice block behind the plate. It goes 1-0. Mikulinka, the seventh hitter of the inning. Batting seventh for the Lady Yellow Jackets. Another good stop by Stevens. Count goes 2-0. Panthers playing pretty much straight away. Strong wind blowing from left to right. This ball comes foul. That one actually comes at us, Hank.
Yeah, but luckily dribbled right over here to in front of the fence and not.
Dribbled
That
a good
one
word.
is, yeah.
Not exactly a worm burner, if you will.
Yeah, no. Kind of just took its time getting to us, thank goodness.
2-1. Pitch from Isaac. Swinging through that was Mikulina.
Woo, the wind really picked up now.
You can feel that gust. Not only can you feel it here, but you can see it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Looking to end the inning. Here's the pitch. It's out and away. Stevens grabs it, pulls it down. Count goes full. The runner on first will be in motion as the count goes full. On deck, Lauren Grego, the pitcher. The pitch from Isaac. It's a number to first. Right there's Velasquez. Touches first, and the inning is over. But 3 runs come across the plate for the Lady Yellow Jackets in the top of the first. The Lady Panthers will come to bat for the first time tonight. This is the Navarro Panther Network. Welcome back to the softball field here at Navarro. Katie Zimmer, Jillian Baker, Kennedy Seek. 1, 2, and 3 for the Lady Panthers here in the bottom of the first inning. The Lady Yellow Jackets of Lano scored 3 runs in the top of the first inning off of 1 hit and 2 errors. And so it's the Panthers' turn. If you heard the ERAs that we gave you earlier, you know tonight will involve a lot of hitting. So get ready to stick around for a poppable barn burner. Here's the pitch. It is low.
Hey, good
to
eyes.
Katie Zimmer.
Saw it from right here.
Zimmer with a .528 batting average, a .646 on base percentage, has 2 home runs on the year. We're going to talk about home runs when Shelby Stevens comes up in just a second. That ball is up 2-0.
Yeah. And I mean, even though we have the moving screen and camera here, I mean, you could see it coming right down the middle, but even high. So.
You can usually tell that, too, where that catcher catches the ball, how much that glove moves up or down. Here's the pitch. It is high.
Yeah.
Zimmer with good speed, 3-0. We'll take the walk here if you're the Panthers.
I feel like I got a front row seat right here.
You do. You and Bob Euchre.
Fally.
That's right. Here's the pitch. It's low, ball 4. Zimmer will get the walk. So the Panthers gave away a hit batter on the first batter of the game, and so the Lady Panthers with their first batter of the game get a walk. Here's Jillian Baker, .450 batting average and a .500 on base percentage. Good for a .950 OPS. She'll try to continue to set the table for Kennedy Seek and Shelby Stevens. Pitch to Baker. The bunt is pulled back easily down to second, strolling down to second, if you will, as Katie Zimmer with a stolen base. And it goes into the outfield. She threw it. She'll score. Round third. Zimmer easily in to score. And the Panthers have made it a 3-1 game on a throw on a stolen base and an error. I'm not sure why the ball was thrown down to second there.
I don't know, unless they thought maybe they could catch her sleeping a little bit and do the old hide the ball trick.
Zimmer headed to Texas State next year to play softball.
Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations.
1 ball to Baker. There's the pitch. Baker watches a strike. Using the Ichiro Suzuki batting method. Scoots up in the box.
I like that reference.
I appreciate that. I'm glad someone got it out there.
Yeah.
Our demo's not too old then. There we go. 2 balls, 1 strike now to Baker. So we could do some Shohei Ohtani comparisons to Shelby though when she comes up. That's a little more timely. Here's the pitch. It is up, way high. Kind of goes 3-1 to Baker. On deck, Kennedy Seek. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Oh,
the pitch. It is low and away, ball 4. Baker tosses her bat toward the dugout. And the Lady Panthers have their second runner of the evening. She's on base for Kennedy Seek, the left fielder. The senior steps in with a .667 batting average, a .721 on base percentage. Good for a .1388 OPS. 4 triples this year for Kennedy also. And the pitch from Greco. Kennedy pops this up. Look out for the wind. It's into left field. Comes back to the shortstop. The shortstop is there and makes the play. There's 1 away. And I don't know if we could tell from, we can tell from the screen, but that ball started toward the cut of the grass behind third base and blew all the way back to the shortstop.
Yeah. Whoa.
There goes our lineup.
Yeah,
there we go. So here's Shelby Stevens. .886 batting average, and check this out, .881 on base. Not sure how that works exactly. 14 home runs on the year. She had 11 last year, and she's at 14 already, and this is over short for a base hit. That batting average will go up close to 900 now with that hit by Shelby Stevens.
Man.
Yes. She is having, and here's another reference for the older listeners out there, a Barry Bonds type of year, with the 14 home runs. She has been intentionally walked a lot. I personally would agree with that strategy. Quite the hitter right now. Here's Kaylee Schronk, 371 batting average, a 436 on base. Here's the pitch. Hit well, left field. Into the gap, into the wall. 1 run will score. That's Baker. Here comes Stevens. She will score. And into third goes Schronk with the triple. The ball gets by, goes to the backstop, and Schronk will pick it up and will stay at third with the triple and the 2 RBIs. And we are tied at 3 with 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. Hank, the other night we had a 26-1, 26-21, 3 hours and 15 minutes softball game.
Whoa!
We are headed that direction already.
Well, that's, one of those things where you can't control, and that's what about baseball that you like is that there is no, you're not looking so much at time limit in baseball or softball.
And the bunt goes to the back. Giles squares around, trying to get the run home some way or another. Strike 1 to Giles. Natalie steps in. She's the third baseman tonight with a 167 batting average, a 516 on base. So Giles very good at finding her way on base. 1 out, 3-3 already here in the bottom of the first inning. Here's the pitch. Ball is low in the dirt. Nice stop by the catcher, Clapton. Count goes 1-1. On deck, Izzy Hartman, followed by Mallory Velasquez and then Allie Rauschenberger. 1-1 count. It's up, 2-1.
Oh, man. I'm slacking here.
You're just probably you're a little dizzy, Hank.
Yeah.
The 2-1 delivery. That's a strike at the knees. Must have clipped the bottom of the kneecap. Count goes 2-2. Pitcher's pitch there. Scoreboard shows 1-2. I have 2-2. And I found out a few minutes ago I'm the official scorer tonight too, Hank.
I hope not.
Here's the pitch. Ground ball slapped to the second baseman. On to first for the out. But the sacrifice will get the run home. The Panthers go up 4-3.
Hey, good as a bunt right there. And she put it down the first base side, and that's what you like to see because you had third base line wide open all the way to home plate. So there was no chance of getting the throw coming back because especially for your pitcher, it has to turn their body completely around.
That's exactly right.
Just not a throw that you can make that easily. If not, it's an error and you get a run and everything else with it.
Giles was essentially the push bunt there. Here's Izzy Hartman. Izzy Hartman lays off the first ball there. Izzy Hartman has yet to record a hit and being on base this year. Playing second base tonight. No one on base with 2 outs. Similar situation at the top of the first inning. Count goes 2-0 to Hartman.
Waving. There we go. Fighting the wind.
Anything up in the air, we'll be doing that all night. Low, 3-0 now to Hartman. Seventh batter of the inning for the Lady Panthers. Lano sent 7 to the plate. Also in the bottom of the first. So Hartman draws the walk. She'll be on base with 2 outs. Here's Melanie Velasquez, an 0.72 batting average, a 294 on base. Playing first base tonight for the Panthers.
And you probably hear the wind in our mics as well, so bear with us on this. But, hey, it's cool. It feels good, though, out here. Nice weather right now.
We'll take this for March. Here's the pitch. It's low in the dirt. That's 5 straight balls from Greco. And I kind of paused there because as I said that, I heard the Alma Klatt, the head coach for our softball team, say the exact same thing. We'll have a mound visit here after the 5th ball. So again, Lady Panthers fell behind 3-0 in that bottom of the first inning, but was able to score 4 so far here in the bottom of the inning.
Well, and the Panthers have, the Lady Panthers have been able to take advantage of some miscues, just as Lana, Lady Yellow Jackets or the Lady Jackets, they were able to take advantage of an error on the Lady Panthers.
Two errors in that top of the first, and one error here in the bottom of the first inning. That was Zimmer on the throw to second, came all the way around to score. Don't let a D1 athlete just run the bases.
Yeah, you're exactly right. No, I mean any athlete for that matter.
Right, that's right. Like, the D1s tend to be a little faster.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. It's an easy score for those.
1-0 count. Here's the pitch. Echo delivers home. That ball's a strike on the inside corner.
Yeah, make her pitch to you. I mean, she's thrown,
absolutely,
as they said, 5 balls in a row, and make her pitch to you.
You're likely to get one to hit here. 1-1 count. Vasquez with the high hands on the at-bat, swings through that pitch. Count goes 1-2. Staying at first is Hartman.
Yeah, Hartman really, pushed it a little bit. She got pretty far out. If you had a catcher with a really good arm, it might have been able to get her
behind her
first. Yep. Yeah, behind her.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Panthers up 4-3 here in the bottom of the first inning. Here's the pitch. It is popped up bunt. And it is into the pitcher. She catch it, comes down with it. Appears to be fine. Nice play by the pitcher, Greco, to hang on to that, and that will end the inning. Panthers send 8 to the plate in the bottom of the first inning, score 4 runs. They leave 1 stranded. We have a lead after 1. The Panthers 4, Lano 3. Back after this on the Navarro Panther Network. Welcome back. We are on to the top of the second inning 25 minutes later. So we had a 25-minute first inning from our Navarro Lady Panthers and the visiting Lady Yellow Jackets. Here's the pitch from Isaac. It is a strike, gets ahead on the count. Lauren Grego, the opposing pitcher, steps in. 222 batting average, a 500 on-base percentage. Good for a 722 OPS. She is the 8th hitter in the lineup for Lano tonight, and she fouls the second pitch back. Count goes 0-2. Panthers still have Giles, Baker, Hartman, Vasquez, third to first in the infield. Seek, Zimmer, and Schronk, left center to right in the outfield. Stevens handling the catcher duties. Freshman Isaac comes home. Good 0-2 pitch there in the dirt. Count goes 1-2. Stevens going to go talk to her freshman pitcher, the senior catcher and the freshman pitcher.
It's always good to have a catcher back there with that kind of experience, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, she sees things, from many years already, as far as, because you play in Little League and probably some select and those sorts of things, and so she's got a good idea what's going on.
Now, this is not a direct comparison, and this is not the most kid-friendly movie when I say this. Reminds me a little Bull Durham with the catcher.
Yeah, that's right.
Here's what you do. There's strike 3 looking. Hit the inside corner.
Just what the doctor ordered. We just talked about it, and how you're able to communicate that, and it actually comes to fruition. That's amazing.
It's how it's supposed to work. There we go. So the strikeout looking one away. Here is Kaylin Casper, and she pops this up. In comes Zimmer. She's there. She's under it. And on the first pitch to the second batter, There is one away. She had a 188 batting average. That will go down a little bit. So will the on-base percentage, which was 480. So back to the top of the order. Here's M. Robertson, 242 entering the ninth. She was hit by a pitch her first at bat. Panthers looking to end the inning here real quickly. You know, Hank, as you do that, the Lady Panthers have a little dance after every out. So if we can capture that, that'd be fun at some point.
Yeah.
There's another strike. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikes in a row from Isaac. 2 outs. Looking to hang a 0 after the 4 in the bottom of the inning. Kept the ball's a little low, 1-1. Which you always wanted to be able to do that. Once you get a lead, if you can come back and hang a 0 for your team. Changes the momentum of the game. The 1-1 pitch. Foul. She couldn't hold back and fouls the ball back to the backstop. Count goes 1-2.
Oh, you hate when that happens, right?
You do.
Yeah.
You're just, don't get caught in between. Hesitation is a killer.
Oh, yes, sir.
1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs. Here's the pitch from Isaac. It hit her. Same thing as the first at bat. Puts out the front knee, takes the hit.
Oh.
So with 2 outs, the Lady Yellow Jackets will have a runner on first for Emily Clapton. She hit into basically a single in her first at bat, but the ball went an errant throw from Jillian Baker, who's at short. Panthers still looking to end the inning here.
If I get used to my left hand, I'll be good.
Ball's a little outside for ball 1.
Talking about all the clicking I'm doing over here.
Well, just trying to get the right shot. Tonight's a little more difficult than normal. Here's the pitch. Strike on the outside corner. Count goes 1-1 from Isaac. Panthers score 4 in the bottom of the first. After the Lady Yellow Jackets scored 3 in the top of the first. And this is hit well down the left field line. It is way foul. Count goes 1-2. Just a long strike. A little early was Clapton, the catcher for Lano. One-two pitch, 2 outs. Ground ball. It is past Baker into the outfield. Seek is there. Seek will throw to second, trying to get the runner off the bag. The single for Clapton will put runners on first and second with 2 outs. Here's the third hitter in the lineup for Lano. This is Mallie Wattenberg. She doubled her first at bat and got an RBI with the hit. She was the last one to score back in the first. Here's the pitch. It is low in the dirt. Stevens smothers it. Keeps the runners at first and second. Isaac comes home. Ball is up. 2-0. Down to second. Zimmer with the throw. Standing there at second is Robertson. And Zimmer shows off the arm there for second. Threw that from her knees. Here's the pitch. Ball's in the dirt, and it hits the batter. So the bases are loaded with 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. 8 and 9 went struck out looking and fly out for the Lady Yellow Jackets to start the inning. Then we've gone hit by pitch, single hit by pitch. So here's Lambie Hoyt. She grounded out 4-3 her first at bat to Isaac. So here's the pitch. And that ball, I'm assuming, was a little outside.
Not
hard
from
to tell, not from that angle. There we go.
Not from the above camera angle.
Here's the pitch. Maybe it's a little low. Popped her up again. This might get blown out because of the wind, and it does over the first base dugout where the Lady Jackets reside this evening. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Panthers looking for an out anywhere to end the inning. Here's the pitch. A little low, 2-1. Zimmer gets the ball quickly back to Isaac. Hoyt hitting 4th in the lineup for the Lady Yellow Jackets. Got your 4-hole hitter up with 2 outs and the bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Strike on the inside corner. Count goes 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We are in the top of the second inning. Here's the pitch. It's up.
Yep.
Count goes full, so start the carousel now.
Here we go.
The runners will be going.
Yep. 2 outs.
Isaac toes the rubber. Kicks and comes home. Fouled back. Big swing by Hoyt.
Oh, yeah.
Hoyt
Catch
probably
that
wishes
one
she
and,
had that one back. So we'll do it again. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The runners will be moving. The pitch from Isaac. It's high ball 4. Hoyt draws the walk and the RBI. We are now tied again 4-4. Everyone moves up 1 base. Here's Grayson Sanchez. Started the day with a .250 batting average. She grounded out 1-3 in her first at bat. And the pitch. It is low in the dirt. Stevens able to glove that and keep the runner at third. Seventh hitter of the inning for the Yellow Jackets. It's a number and it's trouble. It is basically a bunt. And into score and moving up 1 base is all the Lady Yellow Jackets for another run. They lead now 5-4. We're going to call that an infield single, Mr. Hank.
Yeah, I would have too, because like you said, you know, the result of it is just the same as a bunt.
Here's J.C. Smith. J.C. will swing at the first pitch for a strike. Count goes 0-1. J.C. grounded to the pitcher her first at bat, but unable to handle it was Isaac. This is hit to right. And Schronk goes back. She can't get it. It's to the wall. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. 3 runs will come across the plate. Going to third is Smith. She is upstanding, and a base clearing triple with 2 outs for the Lady Yellow Jackets. That one hurts a little bit, Hank.
Oh, yeah, when you can get it that deep and get it to the fence with bases loaded, I mean, yeah. What a nice hit, and you know she's a powerful hitter. That's why we said you can't give her anything, you know, even close.
8-4
You'd almost
now.
rather walk her than let her hit.
First pitch swinging there is Mikalinka. She was the 9th hitter of the inning for Lano. She grounded out 3 unassisted her first at bat. The 7th hitter in the lineup for the Lady Yellow Jackets. Ball's inside. Count goes 1-1. That's going to be a tough play for Schronk out there and right no matter what, as the wind is pushing the ball away from her. There's the pitch. Ground ball to third, and unable to handle it is the third baseman, Giles. And in to score is Smith.
I want to say that might have hit off her leg as well.
Yeah, we're going to give her a hard hit ball. We'll give her a single on that. So the 10th hitter of the inning will come to the plate, Lauren Grago. She started the inning with a strikeout. We went 2 hitters and 2 outs to start this inning. The Panthers are still trying to find that third out. That ball is hit foul back to the backstop pretty hard by Graco.
Those got to be the most frustrating, the 2-out rallies, you know, when you're on defense and the offense is rallying on 2 outs. You're like, man, we could have had this done, you know, 4 batters ago, 5 batters ago.
Stevens throws the first, and back in is Reagan.
But your mindset is always getting the next batter.
That's right. Yeah, you kind of have to have a short memory in baseball.
Oh, God, yes.
1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. That's a strike. Isaac gets it. Count goes 1-2. 8-4 is our score. We are on the top of the second inning. Pitch from Isaac. Strike 3 swinging.
Oh, yes.
Graco starts with a strikeout, looking to start the inning and ends the inning on a strikeout swinging. We are at the end of 1.5 innings. Panthers trail 8-4. They'll come to bat in the bottom of the inning, and we will see Rauschenberger, Zimmer, and Baker after this on the Navarro Panther Network. Welcome back to the softball fields. Panthers are trailing 8-4. We're in the bottom of the second inning. We started this game at 7 o'clock. It is 7:38. We are in the bottom of the second inning. 4 runs in the first for the Lady Yellow Jackets and 4 runs in the second for the Lady Yellow Jackets. We'll see if the Panthers can counter once again. They trailed up, 3. So they scored 5 there in that second inning. We'll make sure we get our math right here. Panthers scored 4 there in the bottom of the first to counter the 3 from the Lady Yellow Jackets. So ball 1, Allie Rauschenberger. The 9-hole hitter for the Panthers steps in, 263 batting average, a 444 on base percentage. She's followed by Zimmer and Baker this inning. The pitch from Greco is up high. Count goes 2-0. Rauschenberger, the designated player, officially acts as the designated hitter tonight. While Mason Isaac pitches. Here's the pitch. Ground ball, back up the middle, base hit. The Panthers will again lead with that leadoff hitter on base. They did it with a walk, from Zimmer back in the first. They do it with Rauschenberger here in the 9-hole in the bottom of the second inning. So here's Katie Zimmer. Started the day with that 528 batting average. Boosted the on-base percentage from 646 when the day started. I have a feeling a lot of these batting averages will go up this evening, Mr. Hank. On first, see Zimmer just way off the bag, but with her speed, that's something she can handle. Ball 1. 1-0. 8-4 is our score here in the bottom of the second inning. Here's the pitch from Greco. Swung on and popped up. So in center field, that wind's going to play with it, but there is the center fielder, Robertson, for Lano, and almost throwing the ball away. But there's one away now here in the second inning. Here's Jillian Baker. She walked her first at bat and scored. Shortstop for the Lady Panthers. Added to that 500 on-base percentage. So she's tilted it just above 500 in her last at bat.
Yeah.
On first is Rauschenberg. Baker bunts, and it's a good bunt, but it rolled just foul, man. That thing could have rolled just the other direction. So strike 1. That was almost a perfectly placed bunt down that first baseline. Yeah. You got a great view of it there too.
Yeah, it's all about where your runners are and what you're trying to do, and did exactly what she wanted to do, except for the ball staying.
And Baker would have ran that one out easy. Here's the pitch. Baker tries to slap this one. Count goes 0-2. Kennedy Seek waits on deck. Oh, 2-1 out. Rauschenberger on first. She reached on a single that went up the middle. Here's the pitch. Slaps it past the pitcher. This could be 1 out. Oh, they'll go to first. No shot at Baker. And that is her bag. She has every right to do what she needs to do to get on the bag. So Baker with a little slap infield single has runners on first and second. And 1 out for the third-hole hitter, Kennedy Seek. Not the power 3-hole hitter you see in some situations, but entered tonight with a 667 batting average. 4 triples on the year. She popped out to short her first at bat. She has 2 ladies on base, and the Panthers trail by 4. On deck, Shelby Stevens. Here's the pitch. Ball's away. So if Kennedy Seek was to get on base, Shelby Stevens would come to the plate with the bases loaded. And that could be fun, Mr. Hank.
Yeah. I'd like to see that. Us go with the merry-go-round for a little bit.
That would be very fun.
The carousel. More, I guess, formal terms.
Very formal terms here at the ballpark tonight. Ball is in the dirt. Seek watches that one. Runners stay at first and second. Throw to second to try to catch.
Ooh, if you throw that one away again.
Off. And then that was. We had a run score on that earlier today.
Baker's got a little speed, too, so she could easily turn the corner.
2-0. Seek looks at the coded card in her pocket to see what was called by the head coach, Klatt. Here's the pitch. pulls back the bunt. It's a strike, let her high. Count goes 2-1. Still way ahead in the count. So the infield of Lano is going to talk about how possibly they want to defend this bunt here.
Yeah, I think Lano knows that they have to, keep from what happened to them in the first inning. Here in the second inning, they've got to be able to just play, it's like one pitch at a time. I know it's such a cliche, but it's like one play at a time, one pitch at a time. I mean, you don't look too far ahead.
Well, and not to use too much of a football analogy here, but if your defense can just get 1 or 2 stops, it could change the course of this game.
But you got to have the same mentality on the other side, one pitch at a time as a batter. And
Zeke pulls back the bunt, and count goes down to third, and out at third is Rauschenberg. So Zeke gets called strike, and Coach Klatt is going to check on that call at third to see if there's a possible overturn here.
I mean, it was close, but it looked like she got to the bag early. I know I was watching the play and not moving the joystick, so they call her out.
Yeah, so 2-5 is a second out on the inning. Down to second goes Baker. She's in scoring position for Seek, who has 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs so far here in this inning.
Yeah, I was watching the game and not the camera.
Here's the pitch. Seek will hit this one foul of third. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We'll do it again. Runner on second. Who's wearing number 2? And we're in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, and that's always the key is put the stick on the ball. And
good things usually happen. Here's the pitch. It's high, full count. Baker gets way off the bag, but Baker, with her speed, able to get back easily to second if a throw came down.
And you got to have a good eye, too. Obviously, when those that high, you're like, okay, lay off of those.
3 balls, 2 strikes to Seek. Seeking another runner. Here's the pitch, and this one's hit foul out of play.
Oh, nice hit, though. She straightens that one out. She pulled that one hard. She got way ahead of it, but, oh, man.
Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Like you said earlier, she'd like to have that one back.
Yeah, yes. The payoff pitch popped up. The wind's going to play with this and keep it in play. Shortstop calls for it. She's got it. Almost bobbles it, but hangs on to it. That is Casper on the play. So that will end the inning and retire the side for the Panthers. Panthers get no runs. They leave 1 stranded here in the bottom of the second. It is 8-4. We go to the third here on the Navarro Panther Network. Welcome back to Softball Fields. Panthers trail 8-4. We go to the top of the third inning. First time of the night, we had a 0 put on the board, but not to where we wanted it. Panthers didn't score any runs in the bottom of the second inning after allowing 5 in the top of the second to the Lady Yellow Jackets. Ball's in the dirt. Isaac's first pitch to the 9-hole hitter, Kaylin Casper. Casper flied out to center her first at bat. And 2-0 goes the count. Lano scored 3 in the first, 5 in the second. Panther scored 4 in the first and none in the second. Pitch from Isaac. Low. 3 balls, no strikes to the 9-hole hitter. Right now, looking at the stat sheet, you really want to get the 9-hole hitter out, not set the table for 1, 2, and 3. There's ball 4. And a leadoff walk this inning for Lano. Here's M. Robertson. She has been hit by a pitch twice. Her front knee both times. Here's the pitch. There's a strike, gets ahead in the count, does Isaac.
Yeah, I missed that one.
Count goes 0-1. Ball stays high. Count goes 1-1. Robertson has scored both times after being hit by a pitch. She's also been the first Lady Jacket on base each of her first 2 at-bats. Here's the pitch. Offers at the bunt. Count goes 1-2. Here's the pitch. Ball in the dirt. Stopped by Katie Zimmer.
She's a brick wall back there. Holy cow.
She is a catching clinic back there tonight. Smothering balls, has not thrown anyone out yet, but has the arm to do it at a moment's notice. Here's the pitch. Strike 3, swinging. Gets the out from Robertson. So 1 away with a runner on first here. Panthers put themselves in a position where a double play could end the inning. Getting more information on One Act's performance today. We'll share that with you shortly. Foul ball. Again, getting ahead in the count is Isaac as she faces Emily Clapton for a 3rd time. Clapton has 2 singles on the night, both to the left side of the field. Again, UIL One Act play performed today at District, advanced to the 2nd round, and we are hearing about the rewards. Here's the pitch. It's up and away. Count goes 1-1. So 2 of the performers today made All-Star cast, the one performing Theopolis and the one performing Dr. Boswell. The 1-1 pitch. In the dirt, back to the backstop. Moving on to second, and the throw from Zimmer is errant and goes in the outfield. So easily to third and coming home. She will score easily all the way, pretty much from first after she got the she took off on the pass ball. So we'll go wild pitch E2 on the score, and now it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's correct. After they scored 6 there in the 2nd inning and 1 so far this inning, it is 10-4, Lano in front. Here's the pitch. And it is up and away, 3-1 count. No one on base now. We have 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. It's a strikeout from the leadoff hitter. It was Casper that scored on the errant throw. And ball 4, we have another runner on base in Emily Clapton. So back to the All-Star, back to this All-Star cast. Honorable mentions for One Act today. The actors who played Charles and Eloise got 2 honorable mentions. And then outstanding technician was Ray Aguirre for One Act. Well done, guys. Moving on to the by-district round. And that pitch is a strike, getting ahead. On Molly Wattenberg was Isaac. We have 1 out and a runner on here for the Lady Yellow Jackets. First time in 4 years, One Act play has moved on to the by-district round. And just missing off the plate is Isaac. Count goes 1-1. And Navarro will be hosting the by-district round. So if you really want to come see some amazing performances, come out for that. I believe that's in about 2 weeks after spring break. Now 1-2 to Whitenberg. Isaac stays way ahead in the count. And of course, Hank, you know a little about this. will be hosting by district in the brand new Performing Arts Center.
Oh, that's awesome. Totally awesome.
So thank you, voters, for that. Ball's in the dirt, blocked by Stevens. We now have the ability to host these performances and host playoff games. And
yeah, I mean,
amazing facility we have now at the high school.
Yeah, I mean, how many playoff basketball games did y'all have?
We're hosting our second tonight, actually.
Oh, okay.
Here's the pitch.
Oh.
I apparently missed a pitch because that's at ball 4 with. So 2 Lady Jackets are on here. That was Clapton that goes to second. Whitenberg goes to first. And we're going to have a quick timeout here as Coach Klatt goes to the mound to talk to Isaac. Let's recap the game for you real quick. In the first inning, in the top of the first inning, Lano scores 3. Navarro scores 4. They had a 4-3 lead after that. Then in the second inning, Lano scored 6 runs. Navarro was blanked in the bottom of the second. And so far, we've had 1 run scored by the Lady Yellow Jackets in the top of the third inning, and we have a new pitcher warming up now for Navarro. Will we get that number and person for you here as we dig into our stats? And this is Peyton Cisneros that will now pitch for the Lady Panthers. She is the one that has pitched most of the time for your Lady Panthers. We have those stats too. There they are. Well, we'll keep digging for those stats, Hank.
Yeah.
You know, we're still getting there.
I was like, I'm just sitting back doing the looking at the cameras.
We're not to the ESPN level yet, but we are working on that. Here we almost got that for you. This is baseball. You got stats. So Cisneros has 34 innings pitched. He's allowed 68 hits over that time. She brings into the game a 16.26 ERA, has a 3-4 overall record, has struck out 16 batters over the 34 innings, so averaging about 1 strikeout every 2 innings. So Lambie Hoyt will be the first one to face Cisneros. She has 2 Lady Jackets on. They reached both by walks. We have 1 out. That strikeout came from M. Robertson for the first out of the inning. Here's the pitch. Swinging at the first pitch is Hoyt.
Nice
Takes a big swing at a low pitch.
Yeah.
Runners on first and second. Double play still in order.
Yeah, make her think she wants that pitch.
Yeah, that's a good spot, too, if you can stay down there. That ball goes up, 1-1.
And, you know, that last pitch actually looks like she was trying to get a riser off. You know, with softball, you can see risers. You don't see that in baseball.
No, you don't.
But in softball, you can see risers.
Unless you're knowing Ryan and you just throw a rising fastball, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's just rising because it didn't sink as much as the others. 2-1, 1 out. Courtesy runner for Lano. Running now at second. Number 8, Robin Collins. 2-1 pitch. Goes 3-1. Ball's out of the way. Stevens to second. But back in under the tag is Clapton.
Well, she's not gun shy, right?
She's not gun shy.
She's, you know, even though one went errant earlier, I mean, she's not afraid to throw it right back down.
That won't happen often.
Yeah.
3-1 pitch. Back in the zone. Count goes 3-2. Cisneros with the full count. Even though there's 1 out, runners could still possibly be moving. Here's the pitch. A little low, ball 4.
Oh.
So 3rd walk in a row.
Yeah, it was over the plate, as we see with the overhead behind the plate camera. But
yeah,
A little low.
A little below the knees. So we go walk, strike out, walk, walk, walk. And so the Lady Panthers have brought in the infield, trying to cut the run home, or run out at home. Graceland Sanchez steps in. She's 1 for 2 of the night, and she nubs this to first. That is a fair ball. And instead of getting the out at first, the throw to home is late, and everyone is safe.
Yeah, it kind of goes back to what you talked about earlier. Sometimes just get the out.
Especially with, and I would put you at 2. So we got 1 out. Base is still loaded for the Lady Yellow Jackets. And with the triple last time with the bases loaded, here's J.C. Smith. So she looks at strike 1, but she's 1 for 2 on the night. She had an E1 in her first at bat. That's a little number back to the mound. And then the bases clearing triple in the second inning. Panthers have moved shortstop back some. The second baseman still plays up a little bit. That ball is foul. Count goes 0-2, way ahead of Cisneros. So Giles plays even with the bag. Baker is a little in at short, but Hartman is definitely in at the baseline at second. Velasquez plays in off the bag a couple of steps. Here's the pitch. It is popped up to right. Don't have to run as Schronk. Schronk is there. No, it's a passer again. Another right field hit into the corner. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. Into third goes the runner that was on first. Into second now with a 2 RBI double is J.C. Smith, making an early case for player of the game. That is their 4th and 5th RBIs of the night. 12-4 is our score now here in the top of the 3rd inning. Man, Lano's brought the bats tonight. We have 1 out so far in this inning. 3 runs have come home. Runners on second and third now for Reagan Mikulinka. And that's ball 1. Misses a little high. Mikulinka is 1 for 2 on the night. She grounded out to Velasquez, her first at bat, and singled with an RBI, her second at bat. Here's the pitch. Low in the dirt. Stevens smothers that. Does a perfect job of blocking that ball. Shoulders out over the knees. Funnels the ball into her chest. Two-0. Here's the pitch. Ground ball. This is a short Baker. Checks the runner, throws the first, gets the out, and keeps the runner at third. 6-3 on the putout. So they're now 2 away for the 8-hole hitter, Lauren Grego, also the pitcher for Lano. She has struck out twice and out. Once looking and once swinging. She ended. She was the bookends, if you will, in the second inning. Struck out for the first out, struck out for the last out in the second inning. Has a chance to be the last out here in the third. The pitch. Ball's outside, ball 1.
Well, here we go, kid.
13 runs so far for the Lady Yellow Jackets tonight. 4 so far for the Panthers. They will still have an at bat here in the third. Here's the pitch. This is slapped to right field, and it is a foul ball. Thank goodness. The umpire, no, I'm about to say, I don't know why we're still running. The umpire did call that foul. We'll go 1-1. Krakow started the day with a .222 batting average, 500 on base.
Wind picks up again.
As you can tell.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no doubt. You get to, hey, you know, Hank, we're able to bring the windy experience home to our fans tonight. There's a strike. Count goes 1-2. Cisneros looking in the inning. Lano has runners on second and third with 2 outs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cisneros looking for a second strikeout of the inning. Ball's up. 2-2. And the Stevens throw to third is just slightly not in time. Diving back into third was Sanchez. Stevens shows off the arm again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2 runners on. The pitch from Cisneros. Ground ball. This is trouble in the right field. Seeing ground ball into right field. Schronk will throw behind the runner. The ball goes away. to the fence, into second base goes Greco. She will get an RBI for at least one of those runs that just scored. And Lano has put up a 5 spot now here in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, that's not good because you start getting up that high and then you start worrying about being run ruled.
3 runs in the 1st, 3 runs in the 6th, 5 here in the 3rd. There's a strike. Their second at bat of this inning. Here's Kaylin Casper. She led it off with a walk. Came around and scored on an error. 0-1. Popped up. Zimmer and Schronk will have to figure out who's going to catch this. Zimmer is there, makes the play, and the inning is over. And for the second time in 2 innings, the Lano Lady Jackets send 10 ladies to the plate, but the inning is over. 5 runs in for the Lady Jackets. They lead currently 15-4. We're back after this on the Navarro Panther Network. Welcome back to the softball fields here at the old Navarro High School, soon to be the old softball fields at Navarro High School. Shelby Stevens steps in. She singled her first at bat. We'll go Stevens, Schronk, and Giles here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Panthers trail 15-4. Lano has scored 3 in the 1st, 6 in the 2nd, and 6 in the 3rd. And strike 1 comes to Shelby Stevens. Stevens having a storybook year at the plate. 14 home runs. She had 11 last year. So way ahead of the pace. And we have just turned the calendar to March. And there's another one. That's deep left field. You can just kind of stare at that one. It almost hit the truck that was driving in the parking lot. Oh, the wind knocked it down. So double. Man, I tell you what, Hank, that wind is crazy strong.
Oh,
if you just knock down one of the best hits I've seen Zimmer actually have this year, but the double, it goes
against the wind.
Man.
Yeah. I thought if it could have got some lift, you know.
Yeah. You can see how strong the wind is up there, and I just thought that was a sure ball that left here. That goes off the fence from our left fielder. So Kaylee Schronk steps in. She doubled her first at bat. She hits a number to the shortstop. She may beat this out. Here's the throw to first. It is in the dirt, and they got her. Strong with some good speed. Staying at second is Stevens. Here's Natalie Giles. Natalie had a infield sacrifice, scored the run. Back in the 1st inning, Panthers scored 4 in the first, excuse me. One of the 3 RBIs that inning. Pitch to Giles. Swung on at the second baseman. She drops it. She'll throw to first. She'll have the out. On to third goes Stevens. She is safe. So 4-3 on the putout. They're quickly 2 away. Lady Panthers still swinging the bats hard. Here's Izzy Hartman. Walked her first at bat. She'll have Stevens on third. Reached on a double to start the inning, and I thought that was her 15th home run of the year. Had that been to center or right, I believe it would have been pushed out of here.
Yeah, you're right.
Here's the pitch. Up and away.
Yeah, if we had had a little more northerly wind, I would say, I would have flew right over.
I would have hit cars in the parking lot with a northerly wind. The future Kansas Jayhawk. Ball's in the dirt. had that double to lead off the inning. So 2-0 now to Hartman.
Yeah, I see it on her helmet, on her softball helmet.
That's exactly right. On the right side of the helmet, she stands at third. If Hartman reaches, Mallory Velasquez will come to the plate. Here's the pitch. Count goes 2-1. Stevens led off with a double. We had a 6-3 put out from Kaylee Schronk and then a 4-3 Natalie Giles. And that's how we are at 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Ball's in the dirt. 3-1 now to Hartman. Hartman playing second base for the Panthers. Hitting 7th tonight in the order. Three-one count. Greco comes home. Hit foul. We go full on the count.
Foul.
They're turning out the lights on the JV game behind us. That JV tournament is over. Here's the pitch. Strike 3, looking at it. Must have been on the outside corner. Panthers go down again with no runs here in the bottom half of the inning. Panthers trail 15-4. We go to the top of the 4th inning. Lano will send to the plate this inning. They're top of the order. Robertson, Clapton, and Whitenberg. When we come back on the Navarro Panther Network. Top of the 4th inning, softball fields here at Navarro High School. Lady Yellow Jackets in front, 15-4. And the last 2 innings, Lady Yellow Jackets have sent 10 ladies to the plate. And they scored 6 runs each of the last 2 innings after scoring 3 back in the first. And that's how we got to 15-4. Cisneros took over for Isaac on the mound, and she will continue here in the 4th inning. Against leadoff hitter M. Robertson. Finds herself 0 for 1 on the night. Swings through the strike from Cisneros. Robertson reached on 2 hit by pitches, both on the front knee. Came around to score both times also. There's the pitch. Ground ball to third. Giles, it's off her glove. Goes to Baker. Baker throws to first. It's late. And hits the back wall, but right there is the right fielder. She throws it to Baker, who is backing up second. That is not Katie Schronk out in right field anymore. So on second now, reaching on the error is Robertson to start the 4th inning. Pitch must have been a little outside. Hank, where did that pitch look like it was on the PTZ camera?
Yeah, it looked a little bit on the outside.
Okay. Height was good.
Yeah.
This is Clapton. She's 2 for 2 for night. 2 singles and a walk.
Ooh, that
Has scored 3 runs.
That's close.
You know, that's pretty close there. Do we need to do the ABS challenge call? Do we have one of those left? 2-0's the count. Ball's up, 3-0. On deck, Mally Whitenberg.
I like it. It's still going. You got green light if you like it.
She's doubled, hit by pitch, and walked. Scored 3 runs also. The pitch home. Strike.
There it is.
There you go, outside corner and just about kneecap high.
Yeah, this time she got on that quarter, a quarter of that plate on that one.
I know our screen's
According to our
moving.
PTZ, but, you can still see it coming across.
Yeah, even though it's moving just a little bit, but it's a good shot of home plate. Ground ball, Giles has this one. She'll throw to first. And digging it out of the dirt is Vasquez for the first out of the inning. That goes 5-3. On to third goes Robertson. Here's Whitenberg. We mentioned she's scored 3 times. She was hit by a pitch. She walked and has a double and an RBI back in the first. All 3 of the top 3 hitters for Lano have scored 3 runs. This one has popped up. This could be an out. Out goes Giles. She's there. And Zimmer comes all the way in to make the play. She just needs to throw to third, I believe. Did she tag? She's on second. Nice play, man.
Yeah,
between Zimmer and Stevens, that is a pair of arms.
I would protest now. And
So the inning should be over because did she not catch the ball in center?
I couldn't quite tell. I was watching the camera.
I think that's what the umpire is saying here, too. He thinks that,
If she caught it, then
well, that would explain why the runner did not tag all the way
yeah.
here.
And I would. That's why I said I'd still protest it either way. I mean, you don't have anything to lose. Take the ball and go touch third base.
So
Am I correct?
Hoyt would be the next. Yes, absolutely. And which would mean you didn't have to require the throw to second for the out. But we know no matter what, there's going to be an out at second.
Yeah, well, you
that
get
will
2
go
outs,
that
and we
will
should
go
be out of the
2
inning.
to 6.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Could be the single or
We tag. I said go. She was on me on the tag. She's in the dugout. It's another out. Third base runner's out.
so the umpires and coaches. So the runners are out. So we now will have an official catch in center on the batter. And that means the runner will be out because she did not tag. And you'll have to do a 5 unassisted because you're supposed to give the out to the closest player in that situation.
Yeah, they're still having a conference.
And that would
with
end the inning and would put a 0 on the board. So Hoyt would be the batter if this is how this plays out. So already Lano has gone to the dugout as if the inning is over and still have the Lady Panthers. But Zimmer has just called the Panthers back out of the dugout. So we're going to try to listen in from where we are.
Yeah, we could turn on our mic. No, I'm joking.
Right.
I may not want to hear it.
We don't have the boom mic yet, do
Yeah.
we? What about the drone mic? Can we find the drone over there?
Yeah. No, we have that back in the trailer.
There we go.
Yeah, I think the Lano coach is saying that he went on her tag, that she did tag the bag.
Which means there was a catch in
Right.
center field. So his argument would be that run would score then, and that scores before the third out at second, potentially.
Right, and should bring everybody back out and play one more out. That's
Right.
That's what the Lano coach is saying. But
Well, that would still be 3 outs. Catch and the
yeah.
and then the
yeah, I got you.
at the plate.
Yeah, if it is. So
we'll see what.
I guess it's no catch.
So I'm the official score. So Hank. So yes.
You go
How
ahead.
is? So it's no catch. That's the only way you can get to 3 outs there.
Or not to 3 outs.
Okay. So you have a single for the hitter.
Yeah.
No, single for Whitenberg. She was single and was thrown out 2. to 6 for the second out. Scoring then should be the runner, and at bat is Hoyt. So that's a run for Lano there. So with 2 outs and now 1 ball, here is Hoyt. And there's a ground ball to third. Short, Baker with the arm. Throws to first and dropped. Velasquez was there, but just couldn't hang on to that. Baker with a pretty good arm, so E6 on the play, E3 on the play, as the throw was there in time. So E5 was how the runner originally made it onto the base and scored to start the inning. And the pitch is fouled by Sanchez. This is Graceland Sanchez at the plate. She is 2 for 3 on the night. She has 2 singles and 2 RBIs. Grounded out 1-3 her first at bat. I know we don't have all the cameras MLB has, but I would like to have seen Katie Zimmer on if she caught that ball or not.
Yeah, I mean.
It's a new helmet. It'll protect you. Let's go.
And I'm just trying to get the cameras in one of the cameras in position. And
ground ball. This is the second. Throw to first is late. So infield hit for Sanchez. Her third of the night moves the runner up to second.
Hey, way to get down the line. Come on, Jason. Hey, you gotta go.
So with 2 outs and a run home here in the 4th,
Go back,
the Lano Lady Jackets looking to tack on to their score. So they're up. The scoreboard says 6. The Stevens into second. Nice arm again. She's safe. Hoyt dives back in. I show 17-4. Scoreboard has 16. Strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, he wasn't calling them earlier, and
he was
did
not.
call that one.
J.C. Smith watches that. Count goes 1-1 to her. J.C. reached on an error that has tripled and doubled. 3 RBIs on the triple, 2 RBIs on the double. And swing throughs that one. Back to second was another throw. And, man, you know, diving for the ball was Hartman, and she kind of hits the runner Hoyt on the play.
Yeah,
everyone walks away as if they're okay.
Yeah, you can't call obstruction or interference on either one of those because they're both making a play.
Both making a play, making a
the
play on
bag.
the ball and making a play on the base.
All right.
And she didn't prevent her from getting to the bag.
That's right.
Here's the pitch. It's out. Now it goes 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Panther scored 4 in the bottom of the first inning. That's the last time they pushed a run across. The pitch from Cisneros. Ground ball. Oh, seeing eye ground ball. Vasquez had to go over to first base. And because of the runner, Hartman had to play closer to second. And Hartman dived, and the ball just got by her. So RBI, ground ball single for Smith. So here's Reagan Mikalinka. She is 1 for 3 on the night. RBI single back in the second. 2 runs home here in this frame for Lano. Ball is up and away. Michelina grounded out 3 unassisted, had the single and the RBI back in the second, and then the third grounded out 6-3. Runners at first and third now for Lano. Up and away, 2-0. Cisneros resets the mask on her face, twirls the ball in her glove, comes home. Strike swinging. Count goes 2-1. Kalina, the 7-hole hitter for the Lady Jackets. Lady Yellow Jackets. And the pitch. Brought it. Oh, Vasquez glove. It bounces off of it and goes the middle infield. In to score is Sanchez. On to second is Smith. And we're going to call that a single as hard as she hit that ball to Vasquez. Lauren Greco will come up, and we're going to probably have a trainer take a look at this.
Yeah.
And while we do that, we'll take a quick break on the Navarro Panther Network. All right, entering the game now is Allie Rochenberg. She goes to third. Over to first goes Giles. Rauschenberger, that is. Giles now goes to first. With 2 outs, here's the pitch from Cisneros. It's up. The throw into first by Stevens is not in time. Touching the back of the bag is Michelina. Stevens showing off the D1 arm again. This is Greco. She struck out twice tonight, once looking, once swinging. Had an RBI single in the third. Chance to tack onto that here right now. 18-4 is our score. That ball is foul. I actually, let's see, 1, 2, 3. That is correct. I have 18 also. Here's the pitch. Swinging through that also. 1-1 now. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Looking to end the inning is Cisneros and send the Lady Panthers to the plate as they trail by 14.
Yeah, but we thought it was over a long time ago.
We thought we had an out. Here's the pitch. This is hit hard up the middle, base hit. And staying on third because of the great arm in center. Stevens behind the plate showing the arm. Zimmer in center field showing the arm. So the bases are loaded for your 9-hole hitter. That is Kaylin Casper, the shortstop. She's flown out to center twice. She walked and scored back in the third and has the bases loaded here. Here's the pitch. And hit hard to center, and that's the third out. Third time that she's hit the ball to center for the out, and she smoked that one pretty much right at the center fielder, Zimmer.
Yeah,
that will
right Zimmer.
end the inning for the Llano Lady Yellow Jackets. We've played 3.5. The Panthers trail 18-4. We're back after this. we're going to get a Coach Klatt. Coach Klatt. She didn't hear me. All right, we're going to see who's batting here. That's right. Mallory Vasquez left the game. So number 5 will be batting for the Panthers as we go here to the bottom of the 4th inning. Panthers will send a new hitter up, and that is Holly Benitez. Holly Benitez steps into the game now after the hard hit at first. And walk-up music for Holly Benitez is Old McDonald. So welcome to the game. The sophomore steps in, the right-handed bat. And the first pitch is low, ball 1. Allie Rauschenberger waits on deck. She entered the game after the hard hit to first. And the pitch. Benitez watches that one. Count goes 1-1. Belt's high on the inside corner. Rauschenberger and Zimmer, 9-1, will follow Benitez this inning. And we have a umpire's pointing at something over at first base, but we'll see what that is. I think he may have been telling their coach to be in the dugout.
Oh.
1-1 pitch. Holly slaps this one to the pitcher, picks it up, throw to first, off the dirt, and there's one away. So here's Rauschenberg. She singled back in the second. She was able to get to second base, but she was thrown out 2-5.
They stuck on that one. Yeah. Old McDonald.
It must be a team thing.
Yeah. Must be.
Here's the pitch to Allie. She watches the outside pitch for a strike. Allie started the day with that .263 batting average. Raised it in the second inning with that single. Panthers trail by 14 here in the bottom of the 4th. Have not scored since the bottom of the 1st. Here's the pitch. Hard swing there from Rauschenberger. Big swing.
Yeah, Panthers got to get some runs here. I mean,
yeah, we're coming up on
the rally hats on now.
We need to score some runs somewhere here to keep this thing going. Rauschenberger hits it back to the pitcher hard, off the pitcher's glove, on to first. And another 1-3 put out this inning. And looking up real quick, Lano's retired 5 Panthers in a row. Here's back to the top of the order go the Panthers. Here's Katie Zimmer. She walked back in the first, scored a run, and she flew out to center, her second at bat back in the second inning.
So maybe fans out there are not baseball, softball savvy. So when you say 1-3, you might have to explain it. Oh, look at
Zimmer has left the building to center field. Wind pushes it out just a little bit, but we'll take it. Katie Zimmer, with her 3rd home run of the year, gives the Panthers another run here. Scores now 18-5. Took that first pitch and went to the right of the scoreboard in center field.
That's the way to. But a big bang here, man. That's with a two-out homer. Now, it would have been nice if we had a few more on base.
Yes, it would have. So what Mr. D is talking about is how the score is kept in baseball. So the pitcher is the 1 position on the scorebook. And so if you have an out 1-3, just strike 1 to Baker. If you have out 1-3, it is the pitcher to the first baseman, who is the number 3 spot.
Yeah.
In the scorebook.
And how they get to number 3, you go to the catcher is number 2.
That's right. And who's on first, Hank?
Yeah.
Here's the pitch.
Who's on second?
Kind of goes 1-1. And just so you can, if you want to score along at home with us, the shortstop is 6, third base is 5, and then you go left, center to right, 7, 8, and 9. The 1-1 pitch. Baker slaps it. Oh, what a play.
Wow.
First baseman is there. Well done by Whitenberg. Reaches out, grabs the well-hit ball by Baker, and ends the inning. The Panthers get 1 on the solo shot by Zimmer. We head to the 5th. Panthers trail 18-5. Welcome back to the softball field. Soon to be old softball fields here at Navarro. The high school has moved, so we're going to call it the old high school site. Panthers trail 18-5 here in the top of the 5th inning, so Panthers are going to need to hold this as close as they can and score some runs here in the 5th for this game to continue. Milano's come in. They scored 3 in the first, 6 in the second, 6 in the third, and 3 more in the 4th. Cisneros back on for the Panthers in the circle and throws ball 1 to Robertson. Robertson on the night, her 5th at bat. 2 hit by pitches, an error, and a strikeout. So officially 0 for 2, but 3 runs scored. Here's the pitch. Lays off the just above the letters pitch. Want to shout out to our one-act crew.
Oh, yeah.
They have advanced to the 2nd round of one-act. First time in 4 years we've reached the bi-district round in that, so well done.
Wow.
Ball 3 now to Robertson.
Back in my day, we did it every year.
There you go. How long ago was that, Mr. Dieter?
I graduated in 1983, so that'll tell you. So,
there you go.
There's
a strike, 3-1 count. Come away with 5 awards today, 2 All-Star awards to our cast. The actor to play Theopolis and Dr. Bosworth both were able to get on to that award list. Ground ball to 3rd. Throw to 1st. Got him. 5-3 on the putout. That goes Rauschenberg to Giles. And there's 1 away. Emily Clapton comes up. She is 2 for 3 on the night. Had a little trouble reading one of these. She reached on a single and then an error back in the 1st. Reached on a single, scored a run in the 2nd. Reached on a walk on the 3rd and scored. Was out 5-3 in her last at bat. Watches ball 1 come inside. Also receiving an honorable mention award to that all-star cast was the actor that played Charles and Eloise. So that's awards 3 and 4. And then outstanding technician to Ray Aguirre for Navarro today. High pop-up. The wind may keep this one in play. Over a third is Giles. She's there, makes the play. That's Rauschenberger. And there's quickly 2 away here in the top of the 5th inning.
Yeah, that's just what the doctor ordered there. You know, the Lady Panthers needed to get some early outs, and let's hope they can prevent a 2-out rally by Lano.
In it right here.
Yeah.
Double for Whitenberg back in the 1st. She was hit by a pitch and scored in the 2nd. Walked and scored a run in the 3rd. Was out 2-6 after a single in the 4th. She was part of the very interesting calls that were made back in that 4th inning. Here's the pitch. It's up. Kind of goes 2-0.
Now, did you say that? Now, does she pull the ball quite a bit, or does she go opposite here that you've seen?
She's pulled the ball.
Okay.
This is not this is not JC. JC's the one that has really been. She's been wearing out the outside part of the plate and then pushing it down to the right field corner all night.
That's why I was asking you as the looking at the books and seeing.
Yeah, charting this thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Of course, if J.C. Smith comes back up, she needs a home run for the cycle. Ball 4.
Oh man.
So with 2 outs, Melanie Wattenberg will go down to 1st on the walk. Here's Lambie Hoyt. She grounded out 4-3, has 2 walks, and also reached in the 4th inning. Came around to score. 2 outs, 18-5, Panthers trail. That is ball 1.
The wind picks up again.
As you can tell. Thank y'all for those of you that have been able to withstand the wind. We're just bringing the effects of the game to you at home.
Wow.
Fouls that pitch back. Count goes 1-1. Panthers will need to score. If the score stays the same, 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning for this game to continue. And the pitch. Popped up. This may stay in. Back to the fence goes Zimmer, and it's out of play. So
Yeah,
that's Stevens.
just barely. And
Just barely. we have a little more foul room at the new place. That would have been an out.
Yeah.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Cisneros looking to hang a 0. Here's the pitch. Oh, takes a little off that. And Stevens throws down to first. Could not get the out.
Almost looked like a changeup.
It did. It dropped there at the very end from Cisneros. Counts 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Panthers trail by 13. Here's the pitch. It is up high. Quick throw to first again. Back in time is Mally Wattenberg. Wattenberg, the first baseman for your Llano Lady Yellow Jackets tonight. Hoyt, the right fielder, at the plate. Full count. Runners should be going. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 swinging.
Oh, yes.
Cisneros hangs the 0 up here in the 5th for the Lady Panthers. There we go. All right. Hey, that almost sounded like your real one. There you go.
No, not close.
So we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Panthers need 4 to keep this game going. They trail by 13. It is 18-5. We're back on the Navarro Panther Network. Welcome back to Geronimo, Texas. Panthers trail 18-5 as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Panthers need 4 runs for this game to keep moving forward. And they will send to the plate Kennedy Seek, Shelby Stevens, and Kaylee Schronk here in the bottom half of this frame. Seek steps in on the night, 0 for 2. She has hit the ball in the air twice to the shortstop. That is Casper for the Llanos. Ground ball to third. Oh, stabs it. Throw to first in time. Smith with a great play. Saves extra bases from Seek, who started the day with a 667 batting average. We'd have to dig in the books. I would venture to say it's not often that Kennedy is hitless on the night. She hit the ball hard, though, 3 times. So here's Shelby Stevens. She watched Katie Zimmer hit a home run. Stevens has 14 of them this year. We'll see if she can tack on here. She is 2 for 2 on the night. She singled in the first and scored, doubled, and hits this one hard to left field. It hits the ground, and she will have another hit. She will raise that 886 batting average once again.
Nice hit.
I thought off the bat her double back in the 3rd was going to be a home run. But the wind kept it in. As you can tell, the wind is active. Appreciate you guys hanging with us at home with the fence moving the way it is. But that's because of how strong the wind is. Yeah, and the camera. Swinging through that first pitch, 0-1. Make sure we have the right hitter here. Schronk is not in her normal hitting spot here. This is Autumn Pacheco at the plate. The 0-1 pitch is low. Count goes 1-1.
Yeah, good eye.
Stevens stays at first. Want to thank Hank Dietert Productions and our broadcast volunteers this evening, coming out for our first softball broadcast of the year.
Yeah.
Should have a couple more of these. Here's the pitch. And this is hit to first. Grabs it. She's going to be late. Say, took the umpire a minute to think that one through, but from here it's pretty easy. So an error on the first baseman will allow Pacheco to reach first. Runners at first and second. Now for the Panthers, with one out, here is Natalie Giles. And Giles is 0 for 1 on the night. She had an RBI sacrifice in the first, grounded out 4-3 back in the third. And looks at strike one right there. So the Panthers need 4 runs to keep this game going. They have 2 runners on base.
Yeah, this could be it if they don't.
Giles, the 6th-hole hitter this evening. Looks at a ball high, count goes 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out.
But a base hit would be really nice, at least.
Well,
a
it
base
would.
hit.
It would at least bring to the plate your, I can't call it the go-ahead run, keep the game going run. And swinging through that pitch is Giles. On deck, Izzy Hartman.
We used to always say, we had one gentleman, and he was also the gentleman that helped us coin the phrase, hit somebody to make you feel good. He also had a saying in baseball, believe it or not.
What was that?
It's like, just give me a little love tap. Tap it, and we'll love it.
There you go. Well, good things happen when you put the ball in play.
Yeah, that's right.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Panthers with runners on first and second. You have Stevens at second, Pacheco at first. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 looking, and that ball looked up from here.
Yeah, it did. Even when you looked at where the glove was to catch the ball on the PTZ cam there, you did see it go up. Yeah, it was a high strike.
It was definitely a high strike, yes, sir.
Oh.
All right, so here's Izzy Hartman. She's going to try to keep this game going. If she does, then Holly Benitez will come to the plate. Here's the pitch. Ball is up. Ball 1. On second with a 1-out single is Stevens. With an error, Pacheco made it to first. 2 outs here. It's 18-5. Panthers trail Lano. Here's the pitch. It is low. Count goes 2-0. Throw to first. Back in time is strong. Excuse me, that's Pacheco. Two balls to Hartman. And the pitch. Count goes 3-0, and Hank, if the other one was a strike, I got a question about that one.
Yeah. And it looked close, that's for sure.
So if Hartman reaches and loads the bases, then Holly Benitez will come up. She will represent the run that could keep the game going. Here's the pitch. There's a strike. Count goes 3-1.
Yeah, she put a little extra juice on that one.
I thought that one came in harder than the other one.
Yeah.
And there's something to that as a pitcher that if you can add and subtract from your fastball, keep the hitter off just a little bit. Here's the pitch. Ground ball. This is to second. Look out. It's error. 1 run will score, and runners will be at first and second. The Panthers push across another run. So base hit for Hartman. No RBIs. The run scores after the ball squirts away. But Pacheco's at second. Hartman is at first. And here's Holly Benitez. She grounded out 1-3 in her first at bat.
2 more runs. We got to get it. Go. Let's go some more innings.
So Benitez represents your 9th run. She could keep the game going. If Pacheco was to score, if Hartman scores, we're still at 10 runs. Benitez watches ball 1 inside.
Yeah, that goes way inside.
I know the fence is moving, but that's still a great shot, Hank, of where that ball comes across the plate. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's low, 2-0.
Yeah, and it was even inside.
That's right. There you go. Benitez took the place of Mallory Velasquez in the lineup. She's the 8-hole hitter on deck. Allie Rauschenberger, number 9, maybe flip the lineup up here in just a second. Here's the pitch. Benitez swings. It's a first. It's off her glove. Benitez is running. The throw to first is in time. And that out goes 3-4-3 to end the inning and the game. So we'll keep it right here, Hank. Panthers will fall in this one 18-6. I want to go back and let's we're not going to turn this over to committee here or anything, but I just want to Look back over the lineup here for Lana real quick. J.C. Smith would be my vote for player of the game. She reaches base all 4 times, once on an error, but then has a 3 RBI triple, a 2 RBI double, and a single for an RBI. So she matches her total bases for each hit with each RBI during each at-bat, her last 3 at-bats of the game. Lano able to get the Lady Panthers after that first inning with 4 runs to only put up 2 more runs. After that, their pitching kind of took over. Hank, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that, our pitching tonight was not on, and our hitting wasn't bad. It's just I think it all comes down to pitching, and I think that Lano was able to take advantage of that. How many errors did we have tonight for
we had 4. We have 3 or 4. Yes.
Yeah. And so those, when you have bases loaded, you just might as well, double those errors. But, I think we just have to clean up a few things, clean up a little bit on pitching. And, our hitting, like I said, I didn't think we hit that bad tonight. It's just we have to work on the little things, the details, and that's usually what sets you apart. And I think Lano did a really good job of just coming to the plate and taking advantage of whatever the Lady Panthers were presenting, no matter what it was. If they were adjusting to the ball well when they came up to the plate, they did hit a lot better than we did, that's for sure. But we made a lot of little mistakes that allowed them to have base runners on when they made hits, and we didn't have, when you see us hit a home run, Zimmer hit a home run, it's like, if we'd had bases on, that's what I said.
Right?
Base runners on, we would have been able to score more, and that's what Atlanta was able to take advantage of. Those errors just compiled and along with the little mistakes here and there.
Go back to that 3rd inning got the first 2 outs.
Yeah,
and after that 6 runs scored. And that's kind of when the game tilted. So Lady Panthers fall 18-6 here. We will have 5. We know we have at least 4 other broadcasts planned. We're going to try to find a couple more days for softball and for baseball. Hank's trying to get that PTZ camera, get a little closer there on the Panthers as they talk about this game. But before we leave, I want to congratulate once again our 1-act team for advancing to the bi-district round. They performed Theopolis North at 1-act district today. They come away with 5 awards. The actors for Theopolis and Dr. Bosworth each got all-star cast. Making honorable all-star cast were Charles and Eloise, and outstanding technician was Ray Aguirre for the Panthers tonight. So although softball didn't win, 1-act advances, and when you have this many organizations competing, that's sometimes going to happen. Also, would like to mention our girls powerlifting. We have 3 going to state, and the boys real soon. Next Saturday, actually, will be at regionals for powerlifting.
Yeah, already. So, yeah, that comes up quick, doesn't it?
That's right. So, again, thanks to Mr. Dietert and Dietert Productions and the volunteer crew tonight for putting on this broadcast. We will see y'all potentially next Friday. We're going to talk about that, but we have some other broadcasts after spring break to bring you softball, baseball, and then, of course, their playoffs run. So for Hank Dietert, I'm Clay Scarborough. This is the Navarro Panther Network. Panthers fall tonight here in softball, 18-6 to Lano. 1-act advances to bi-district. And until then, so long, everybody.
Good night.